Hey my friends, I'm Dr. Schulze and I'm here out in the countryside in Tuscany in Italy, but this could be anywhere, almost anywhere in the world. And look what I found, this magical plant right here, St. John's wort. All plants are technically identified by their Latin name, and the Latin name for St. John's wort is Hypericum perforatum. Hypericum perforatum, and perforatum, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But the Latin name is a universal language of plants. It's used all over the world to identify plants. Even though Latin's a bit of a dead language, it's used to identify plants. So if you really want to get into plants, learning the Latin name is important. The first word, Hypericum, is called the genus, and perforatum is called the species, because there are probably 200-300 species of Hypericum all over the planet. Okay, where do you find this herb? Well, here we are in Tuscany. Of course, it's central Italy, but this herb is found all over, growing all over Europe, even Western Asia, North Africa. But here's the best news. I wouldn't talk about anything unless you can find it in America. Oh, okay, Great Britain too, all over Great Britain. But in America, I found this herb, St. John's wort, in New York, in fields and junkyards. I found it, it's all over Northern California. In fact, it was so wild in Northern California, they did an eradication program for it. It's an obnoxious weed, and of course it even grows in the Rocky Mountain areas. You can identify it by its yellow flower, 5-petaled yellow flower. But watch out, my friends, because yellow is one of the most predominant colors in nature and maybe the most common flower color. So there's a lot of 5-petaled yellow flowers. Come in and take a closer look at it here. It's the name perforatum. The species comes from it. The leaf, if you hold it up to the light, you'll see it has a lot of perforations or little holes in it. And one of the most, you can stay on the flower here, one of the most unique features is if you squeeze the flowers in your hand, they will turn blood red, as you can see. I'll pick another one here. And when you grind them up in your hands, blood red juice comes out of them. Hope you can see that at home. I'll take one more here. Red, see it? Blood, my fingers aren't bleeding, friends. That's blood red juice coming out of the Hypericum perforatum, or the St. John's wort. Okay, so what has this plant been used for in history? Well, you'll find it in historical writings going way back, especially the ancient Greeks. You'll find it talked about from Hippocrates, the so-called father of modern medicine. Hey, friends, Hippocrates was an herbalist. It's not the father of modern medicine. Hippocrates talked about St. John's wort. Dioscorides, that's the way you say it in Italian, the ancient Greek herbalist physician, who was really a soldier that traveled with the Roman armies of Nero all over Europe, fighting, and later on in life, I think he was more into curing, and he wrote a book about, a few books about the plants he saw and how to use them for healing, and this was one of them. Now, some people say he didn't write about that. Let's not worry too much about history. We get into the Middle Ages and the Renaissance in England, and you have Gerard's herbal, and people say he stole his intel from other people. I mean, let's not get into fighting about history, but a lot of historical medical doctors, herbalists, healers all talked about the wonders of St. John's wort for healing wounds, for trauma and wounds. And it was that redness, that red oil that comes out of the plant that people used. In fact, still today in Greece, you can find people that take the flowers, infuse them in oil, and get a red oil. Wait till the oil turns red, mush it up. You have a red oil, and you'll find that for sale in Greece and Europe as a healing oil for wounds. Okay, my friends, I know you, and you want to know how this is going to help you. Well, let's talk about the phytochemicals. Phytochemicals is just a $10 word for plant chemicals, the chemistry within the plant. We're mostly talking about the flowers, but some people have used the leaves. But it's rich in flavonoids, bioflavonoids. You've heard that name before because that's vitamin C complex. the chemicals that go along with vitamin C that are so helpful in your body, flavonoids, bioflavonoids, especially rutin. They've tested thousands of plants and found this plant and what's in the flower to be one of the highest sources of flavonoids. And flavonoids strengthen your blood vessels, your capillary walls. So this is why it's so great for wounds. I know you like details. I brought my paper here. It stimulates fibroblasts, the cells in your body that grow back your tissue. Stimulates collagen. This is why it's been famous for 2,000 years for wound healing. Reduces inflammation, reduces pain, reduces swelling. All the things you want to do on a wound. It's been topically used to treat all types of trauma, bangs, bruises, blunt injury especially. It increases circulation, repairs nerve damage. Look, nowadays all the attention on St. John's wort is about being an antidepressive agent, which it is famous for, and it does work for. And if you have depression, well, first thing, get outside like this, and that'll lift your spirits, but you can use it for that. But beyond that, that's 50 years of history, 2,000 years of history for trauma, bangs, blunt injuries, sword injuries, healing wounds, and anti-inflammatory. Helps you grow back nerve cells, fiber and muscle cells, helps you grow back collagen, heals wounds, trauma, bangs, bruises. That's what I want you to think about when you think about St. John's wort, this miracle plant. And finally, let's put it to use some herbal medicine association. I have my deep tissue oil here and my deep tissue ointment. Let me tell you a little bit about this. Inside the deep tissue oil and ointment is a combination of 3 herbs that I've always used for trauma, which is St. John's wort in olive oil, that blood red oil that we create, and also marigold or calendula and arnica, which I've seen used by the bone setters all over Europe. The people way back in the hills when they're treating people with broken bones. So St. John's wort, marigold or calendula and arnica are 3 of the greatest herbs for trauma, reducing pain, inflammation, increasing circulation, getting your cells to grow back, your tissue cells for trauma, bangs, and bruises. But also in here is my combination of wintergreen oil, which is high in salicylic acid, reducing inflammation, and also botanical menthol made from peppermint, which also increases the circulation. So this formula is all about trauma, my friends. It's about increasing the circulation to the area, reducing the inflammation, and healing the nerves, the bone, the tissue cells, the collagen for bangs, bruises, strains, sprains, broken bones, you name it. That's what deep tissue repair is for. This is just one of the many herbs in it. This is why people call it a miracle in a bottle. My friends, get out into nature. The miracles are here.